Good evening, Hidden Well farmers. It's good to see you. It's story time, and it's Saturday evening, right before Easter. I just set up my electric fence, give the sheep a whole new area to graze. We've got so much green grass, and they are absolutely loving it. Mulder and Scully are sitting right out the door, making a nuisance of themselves, but we'll overlook them. But I thought that for story time, I might tell you an Easter story, a story of a miracle that happened to me. I had a lady 20 years ago. It had to have been at least 20 years ago. She brought a cat into my clinic because it couldn't walk. It was just completely unable to walk. It was down in its back end, and it looked so bad. It was in terrible shape. It was underweight. And the family, I don't remember who they were, but they had this kitty cat, and as I began to examine the cat, it had several obvious problems. But as I began to try to do a physical exam on the cat, I was feeling his belly and going through that. I felt all of these tumors. I mean, these just round, hard knots everywhere, free floating in the abdomen. And I was like, no way, this cat's eat up with cancer or something like that. It was a young cat. I think it was like 6 years old. So with consent, we took some radiographs. We took x-rays of the cat, and sure enough, there were these hard, round tumors everywhere in this cat's belly, and its guts were squished up against its diaphragm, and poor cat was just miserable, just absolutely miserable. So I talked to them about options. I showed them the radiographs. I went over those pictures, and I mentioned euthanasia, which, sometimes that's the right answer, but these fine folks decided to take the kitty cat home. And so they took the cat home, and they come back 2 weeks later for a recheck. The cat had made a full recovery. It was walking, and it was doing just fine. But not only did she bring that cat in, but she also brought in 7 kittens. And I began to put 1 and 2 together. Those tumors that I was feeling in the belly were kittens. And she was probably suffering from pregnancy toxemia. So I just looked at the cat and told them it looked really good. And they explained to me that they had went home and that they had anointed the cat with oil and that they had prayed over the cat and that God had turned all of those tumors into kittens and had spared the cat's life. Now, I'm not making fun of those people, so please do not take it that way. I do not make fun of anybody's faith. But for me, it was pretty embarrassing because that cat was pregnant all along, and they had a wonderful family and a wonderful set of kittens to enjoy, and they wanted to thank me for all that I'd done for the cat and for her kittens. And so at the ripe age of 28 or 29, not having been out of school for more than a year, I learned some very valuable lessons. That there is power in prayer. Faith will take you places that you can't go without it. And who knows? I can't say that wasn't cancer. And maybe God did turn that in to kittens for them. There are crazier things in the world. But I do know this. Jesus died, and he's alive for me and you. Happy Happy Easter.